A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. We eat so many shrimp. I got iodine partners.
My bitch a choosing lover, never fuck without a rubber. Never in the sheets like it on top of the cover. Money on the dresser, drive a compressor. Top notch hoes, get the most, not the lesser. Trash like the fuck for $40 in the club. Fucking up the game, bitch, it gets no love. She be cross country, giving all that she got. 1,000 a pop, I'm pulling business off the lot. I smashed up the gray one, bought me a red. Every time we hit the parking lot, we turn head. Some hoes wanna choose, but them bitches too scary. Your bitch chose me, you ain't a pimp, you a fairy.
A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. We eat so many shrimp. I got iodine partners.
Baby, you been rolling solo, time to get down with the team. The grass is greener on that other side, if you know what I mean. I show you shit you never seen, the 7 wonders of the world. And I can make you the 8th if you wanna be my girl. I say my girl, I don't mean my woman, that ain't my style. Need a real street stalker, walk a green mile. Piling up the paper on the dining room table, cause you able to realize I'm the truth and not a fable. Baby, rockin' Russian sable, keep that chiller on the rack. What I look like with some $1,000 shit up on my back. I'm $1 million man that need $1 billion bitch. Put my pimpin' in your life, watch your daddy get rich. Easy as ABC, simple as 1, 2, 3. Get down with UGK, Pimp CBU with B. Cause what's a hoe with no pimp, and what's a pimp with no hoe? Don't be a lame, you know the game and how it goes. We try to get toes.
A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. We eat so many shrimp. I got iodine partners.
Dang it. Why? Every single time. Every single time. Start this again. Hi, everybody. It's Artie of Artie's Corporate Fiction. I hope you guys had a great Monday today. And hope you had a great weekend as well. Today, we're going to take a look at the source of Van's latest video. Van Valiant, as always, graciously put it in a link to the original source, so we'll get to take a fresh look at it. But again, as always, shout out to Van Valiant for finding these juicy bits of content for us. So we're gonna take a look at that, and then take a look at I got a Cold Blue Cam had a pretty riveting video that was uploaded yesterday or the day before. I hadn't seen that one yet. But ultimately, this might not be the longest stream, but we'll see what happens. And we'll take it by ear afterwards. But without further ado, let's take a look at it. Oh, I also want to before going forward, I want to first say thank you so much to an anonymous tipster who tipped me $100 in the middle of the day today. I only knew because I got the email notifying me of it. But thank you so much, whoever you are. That's extremely generous of you. I only wish that, we could have we could have gotten the alert. I could have gotten the jump scare, and you would have been gotten the thanks that you should have gotten, your money's worth, I should say. That was fantastic. But thank you so much, whoever you are. I also saw that who was it, Mad Hatter, Uncle Mad? I can't remember. I apologize, man. Thank you very much for the membership. Jeremy, I see you. Thank you for 25 months. I cannot believe it. You've been a member of my community for 2 years. That's wild. I can't believe I've been doing this for 2 years. Well, I've been doing this a long time, but on this channel, it's been a long time. But thank you very much, guys. And thank you, Woodwork, Jim Rayner, and Stroke Assaulter for your re-ups. It's always appreciated. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. My understanding is a lot of this video is going to be a lot of flashy, a lot of bright lights but hopefully we might get something more significant out of it. All right.
Okay. Is that
Do you have a license with you?
is that a reason to stop me though?
Yeah, it's a detention.
It's a what?
It's a violation. It's a detention.
A detention?
Yes, it's an infraction to have tinted windows.
Infraction. Okay, but so I'm not operating in commerce.
You're what?
I'm not operating in commerce. I don't drive. I'm not using my vehicle for commercial use. So it's
What does that have to,
well, it's the law.
what's the law?
The law is that if I'm operating in commerce, then you can pull me over for these infractions and pull me and stop me, but I'm not, and this is a private property. I'm technically not a driver. I'm a traveler. This is not considered a motor vehicle because it's my private
Do you
property.
have a license with you?
I don't have to answer that.
You don't have to answer that? You
No,
have to identify yourself?
I don't. If you can't tell me a crime that I've committed,
I did.
that's not a crime. There's no injured party. There's no.
What's that?
Is that paraphernalia that he's holding onto his hand? I don't even. Okay. I don't know. I'm not a user, but I don't know. It looks kind of weird to me.
There's no crime, so it's no injured
It could be a vape.
party.
It's an infraction. You're detained for that.
I'm detained for an infraction.
Yes, for tinted windows.
Tinted windows is not a crime. There's
It
no.
is.
There's
26708 of the California Vehicle.
codes, statutes, and city ordinance
Oh my god.
are
He's hitting all
not
of
law.
Listen, sir.
No, you listen. I'd like to speak to your supervisor then. If you don't know the law, I can
know the
show
law. I
you.
stopped you for tinted windows.
I can show you the law where it says that I'm not bound to your statutes, codes, and ordinances
Why is that?
because I'm not operating in commerce and I'm not a federal government employee.
You're what?
I'm not a federal government employee and I'm not operating in
Federal
commerce.
government employee?
Correct.
What does operating in commerce mean?
That means I'm using my vehicle for hire. I'm not.
You're using your vehicle for.
I am not using my vehicle for hire. That is operating in commerce.
I don't know where you're going with this. I stopped you for tinted windows. That's it.
Understood, but
Okay?
I don't.
And I need your ID so I can give you a citation.
But that's not a valid
That's not a
reason.
valid reason?
No,
It's not.
because a crime is committing.
I can't tell if the cop is playing dumb or not, but this might actually be his first ever encounter. It sounds like it.
There has to be a living injured party. Basically, I've had to have hurt somebody physically or financially
No.
with malicious intent for a crime to be present.
That's not how.
An
that
infraction is not a crime.
works. Infraction is a detention, which I'm detaining you. I'm not
An
saying you
infraction
committed a
is
crime.
not a detain. You're falsely detaining me right now.
Falsely detaining you.
Yes, falsely,
How?
because you don't have the jurisdiction to pull me over.
I don't have the jurisdiction to pull you over.
No,
How's that?
because. Would you tell him to stop touching my property, please?
What's that?
He's
What is he doing?
he's shining. He's touching my window, and his hands are all over my car. But I
Listen,
can
sir.
show you. I can show you the
Can I
law
have your
book.
license, registration, and insurance.
I do not have to show you that,
You
sir.
don't have to show me that.
No. Can you call a supervisor? Can I get your
will
name and
call
badge number?
Ortega, 2980.
2980 Ortega. Okay. Can I get your supervisor?
Yeah, I call my supervisor. for
Please.
you, but I need you to identify yourself.
When I'll do that with your supervisor
Why is that?
because
What is my
because
supervisor
you're
gonna tell you?
you're
He's gonna tell you the exact
what's
same thing I'm telling you.
well if
Yeah, I kind of wish more officers would say that to them, even if they say I don't care. I kind of wish they would at least tell them you do realize that the supervisor's going to tell me exactly what I've already told you, and if anything else, I think my brother has said oftentimes if he gets called, he'll end up getting the car towed, so they might end up in a worse situation if a supervisor's called.
he doesn't know the law, I can show you the law, but you probably won't want to see it. I have the Black's Law Dictionary with me,
Yeah,
where
the what?
the Black's Law Dictionary.
The Black's Law
God, he really is hitting everything.
Dictionary?
Yeah, do you know what that is? You don't know what that is?
I don't know what that is.
Okay, it's
I don't know.
the
I don't know why a cop would know what that is.
definitions in the English language that the courts use,
Okay.
because the English language that you and I know is not technically
Okay, so
what.
listen, I stopped you for your tinted windows.
Hey, Davos.
Which is an
No,
infraction.
that's not okay though, because it's not your
Not
job
okay?
to. No, it's not your job to do that. Your job
my
is
job to do that?
No, because you're not upholding the Constitution. That is your job,
That's what I'm saying.
huh?
Sir, listen, I just need your ID
You-
so I can identify who you are and give you a citation.
I cannot furnish my ID for
If you
you.
don't give me your ID,
No,
potentially be taken to jail.
potentially be taken to jail, and that will be an unlawful arrest.
How was that? 148 the penal code.
There's I just told you,
Delaying
codes.
my investigation.
Codes is like the lowest form of codes is the lowest form.
I can't hear you.
Codes and statutes and ordinance are trumped by the Constitution. The supreme law of the land is the Constitution. I have a right to travel. It's unalienable.
You do have the right to travel. I'm
Right.
not saying you don't.
But
it's
you
not
are
for
impeding my travel with
Impeding
your
your travel?
codes that do not pertain to me. They pertain
Why
to
don't they
you
pertain to you?
because I just told you I'm not a government employee
Because you're not a government employee.
and I'm not using my vehicle for hire.
That's supervisor.
It is clearly stated in law, and I can show you. I have the law book with me.
All right, my
And it's not that I don't want.
I believe you're correct, Blue Bacon. The definition they cite so often in Black's Law Second with I think usually it's like driver, that was changed with the third edition because guess what? You know, motor vehicles became a common everyday usage, so they had to expand a definition of a driver for that purpose.
I get hassled by you guys all the time.
Oh, I'm not surprised. I wonder why.
I've never seen you either, but San Dimas sheriffs have hassled me. For bullshit, really. It's for things that I'm not doing wrong. I'm not hurting anybody.
No one said you're hurting anybody.
Okay.
I'm stopping you for an infraction.
You're talking about this tint on this window?
Yeah.
That's like the most minor thing. That's not a crime, sir.
It's not a crime, but it's an infraction. It's a reason to stop.
I mean, I would say it's a kind of a weak reason for a stop, but if it's lawful for him to stop, it's lawful, you know.
Stop and detain you for that.
It's really not though. It's not. No,
So,
because
my
if
supervisor's coming,
huh?
my supervisor's en route.
Okay.
He's gonna ask you to identify yourself as well.
Well, I'm gonna show him the law then,
Okay.
and
that's fine.
and I would like to get my dictionary out of the back of my car. Okay.
We'll figure all that out afterwards.
And you guys should know the law because you guys are you don't though. You guys
know the law.
you don't. No. I'm sorry, but the Constitution is the supreme law of the land.
Constitution is the supreme law of the land.
Yeah, you didn't know that? You swore an oath to it.
I know.
So what did
This has nothing to do with the traffic stop, okay?
we
Stopped you for tinted windows.
the Constitution has everything to do with any stop that you do.
So I can issue
Hold on though.
a citation for the violation.
That's incorrect, sir.
That's incorrect.
That's incorrect. You don't have. There's two reasons you can pull somebody over. You should know this. It's your job. You have to have had a warrant for my arrest. Okay, with my name on it, signed by a judge.
No. No, there is such a thing that even the founders understood. There is such a thing of being able to arrest you without warrant. That's the dumbest thing these guys have ever come up with. If just imagine if you will, a cop on patrol sees a bank robbery occurring as it's happening. Like he sees it in the process. What you're telling him is that he can't do anything about the robbery. He has to first observe, probably take down some notes, and then go to the local court, file an affidavit to a judge to get a probable cause warrant, and then afterwards, then hopefully they'll still be in the middle of the robbery. He can come out there and try to arrest them, but more than likely they'll have already left. It's insane to me how these guys think they interpret the Constitution, and that the founders were. I hate using the term common sense because common sense can mean so many different things to so many different people. But the founders had some semblance of common sense of being aware that crimes can be committed or can be stopped as they're being committed. It's not everything is a post hoc it's not everything. Something crimes can be stopped in the midst of them, and they could be arrested in the midst of it. The issue is that you have to be taken before a magistrate within immediately can mean 48 hours or so. You have to be immediately taken before a magistrate, and then have the probable cause hearing to effectuate the arrest is lawful. That's what has to be required.
To stop you?
Yes, you do. Or you have to have a reasonable, articulable suspicion that I've committed a crime. A crime includes an injured party, a living injured party that
No, it doesn't.
I would have
Those
to.
are reasons to stop.
They're not,
somebody.
because there's no injured party.
If that was the case, then there's literally no such thing as an attempt. There's you cannot arrest somebody on attempt, on conspiracy, on let's see, aiding and abetting. What was the other? What are some other cases? Those are the three off the top of my head. You cannot criminalize any kind of acts that would fall under that category.
Who would I face
those
in court?
categories.
Who's my accuser? The state can't be an accuser. You can't be an accuser because you're a government employee.
Accusing you of a crime.
Of course.
You are with the new windows. You said is a crime.
It's
It's
an infraction. I'm not saying
you said it was a
committed
crime a minute
to
ago.
another
Okay, so an infraction, there's still no injured party.
That doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
Solicitation. Thank you, Foster. That was the one I was thinking of too.
You're making this way more complicated.
No, it's not, because you're trying to, what you do is you guys lurk in the shadows. You wait for someone to drive by doing a non-criminal offense, which can be punished criminally if you don't know the law. Because if I didn't pay that ticket, then what would happen? It would turn into a warrant and I could go to jail, how do you go to jail when there's no crime committed, no injured party? I have not hurt anybody.
And I never said you did.
So then you have no right to pull me over.
I did have a right to put you over.
I've done no crime.
Okay.
This is my private property. Do you know that the definition of a motor vehicle is somebody that is operating any vessel that is used for commerce, for commercial purposes?
For what?
Commercial purposes.
Commercial purpose?
Commerce. For hire. If I'm transporting passengers or if I'm transporting cargo on the clock, then you'd have a right to, because then I'm under...
Pull you over while you're on the clock.
If you did, then you would have a righteous reason to do so.
So right now I don't have a right to.
No, because you're out of jurisdiction.
I'm out of jurisdiction.
Correct.
What is jurisdiction?
Jurisdiction is your right to impede my travel with
I'm impeding your travel?
you are, sir.
Well, I'm sorry
Absolutely.
you feel that.
And I'm it's the truth. I don't know why I always have to go through this. I mean, I'm
I explained to you why the reasons why I stopped.
my life has been completely miserable
I'm sorry
since
about
COVID,
that.
and everything that's gone on has been unconstitutional. It has been against my rights. I consent to nothing. I reserve all my rights.
Okay.
And I still get hassled by you guys, and you guys are not doing your job. Your job is to uphold the Constitution, not to harass me. I'm a traveler.
harass me.
I'm a traveler, and I'm minding my business, and I'm doing everything by the book. And it sucks that you guys don't know the law, because it's.
Why are you feel that way?
I can prove it to you, sir.
What's that?
I can prove it to you.
You can prove it to me?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I wish you guys wouldn't do this, because they're. I don't know what you think about that you have immunity or something to not be upholding the Constitution. That's what you swore an oath to. You're committing treason right now.
I'm committing treason?
Correct, sir. Treason. That is where
Okay.
you've been warned, you've been told,
Okay.
and you are
Wait,
okay.
Explain to him what's going on.
And what's your supervisor's name?
Who's coming? Rasmussen? Sergeant Rasmussen.
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 I'm sighing with you, brother. This is getting tedious. I mean, if the cops is just listening to him, I can only assume he's biding time until the supervisor gets there. But holy,
I hate doing this, but it's there's no reason for you guys to keep doing this. I'm losing my time. I'm supposed to be meeting somebody right now, a girl, and now.
oh no, is that right?
And I'm already kind of late, and this is just making it worse. And it's a criminal violation of my rights.
It's a criminal violation of your rights.
Absolutely, you guys when you arrest somebody, which I am under arrest right now because
not under
I am under arrest because I'm not free to go. Am I?
You're detained.
Am I? That's
There's a difference between a
no. There is
detainment
not.
and an
Arrest is a detainment.
No, it's not.
Anytime I am held against my will, not able to
You're
leave,
detained.
I am under arrest.
Arrested, that
I am
means you're
arrested.
handcuffs in the jail.
Not true. I can show you those definitions as well. The word arrest is used in the definition detainment And it even says
What's the difference between detention, and an arrest?
the color of law and legal. Well, basically, admiralty is
Oh my God.
the law of the water, and that is what your detainment word comes from. Is
What?
used in admiralty law, which
Okay, I'm sorry. I gotta hear that again.
color of law and legal. Well, basically, admiralty is the law of the water, and that is what your detainment word comes from. Is used in admiralty law, which
Okay, that's a new one for me. That is actually a brand new one. That detainment is a word stemming from admiralty law. And that's why they say there's a they try to say that cops make a distinction between detainment and arrest. Oh, if you say I'm detained, then you're under admiralty maritime jurisdiction. That's okay, yeah, that's a new one for me. I have never heard of that one before.
I'm not under admiralty law. I'm a common law traveler with unalienable rights, and I do not have to surrender identification to something like this. This is not a crime.
It's not a crime.
No, exactly. It's not.
Detained.
I am under
Give you a
arrest.
citation for this infraction.
I can
and
show you the
you're
definitions of detainment and arrest as well.
What's that?
I can show you the definitions of detainment and arrest as well, and you'll see that it is the same thing.
They're not
I've
the same
studied
thing.
this several times, and I have a problem with this every time I run into somebody in a
Run
uniform.
into a cop,
Yep.
they tell you there's a difference between detention and arrest.
They tell me I'm detained. I say I'm under arrest, and I am under arrest. If I'm not free to go,
If you're not free to go, that means you're detained.
I am not free to go. It means I'm under arrest.
No. A traffic stop at its initial outset, a traffic stop is a detainment. A traffic stop can also turn into an arrest. I think a lot of people can make the argument that the moment that a cop issues you a citation, that it turns into an arrest right there, because the purpose of the detainment is to be able to conduct an investigation. If the officer if you're stopped, you could also be under arrest if the cop already believes that you had committed the crime of speeding, for example. You could argue that the stop is not just a detainment, it's an arrest. But generally, if you've been stopped, it's a detainment initially, but it can turn into an arrest. And usually once you're issued a citation, the officer is saying that he has enough probable cause to issue you that citation that you can ultimately fight in court. And that obviously leads to would mean that you were under arrest. But arrest also still implies a crime. So I think I think in situations where you're not for traffic violations, even if they give you the citation, if it's not a crime, then it would still be just simply a detainment, not an arrest. So I think that in most instances, you can safely assume that in every traffic stop, you're detained at the very least, because and it's a seizure under the Fourth Amendment. I know. I remember the cop the Border Patrol officer we watched a couple days ago. He said that you're not being seized, you're being stopped. Now, according to the U.S. Supreme Court, a traffic stop or any sort of stop, any sort of instance where an officer says that you're not free to leave is a seizure under the Fourth Amendment. Again, they can do that with lawful authority with in regards to the proper justification, but it's a seizure under the Fourth Amendment.
Not under arrest.
Yes, I am. If I were to leave, you would chase me, and I would risk physical.
You're detained.
You're holding me against my will.
I'm not holding you against your will.
Then I can
You're
leave. I can leave?
No, you cannot leave.
Then you're holding me against my will, because my will says I want to leave and not be under your arrest.
My supervisor's here, okay?
Okay.
You can explain to him
Right,
I
Bluebank, and
know,
I've heard
I
that
know.
too.
It's just ridiculous.
how do you feel about this, okay?
We'll see. I mean, this is just, it's treasonous, you know?
Treasonous.
Treasonous. You guys should know these definitions because you're cops.
Capital felony treason.
You guys, Your training should well describe this. I'm sorry that you don't get it, but the law is the law and it has to be followed.
So every officer that stops you tells you the same thing. They're all wrong.
Well, it depends. If I'm working on the clock, then they're not wrong because they would have a.
Here's my supervisor. Okay.
Okay.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, sir. I've been better.
Okay.
So I'm recording this, by the way, just for my
we
protection.
have our body cams on as well.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so your officer here pulls me over for tinted windows. I'm telling him it's not a crime. Okay, there's two reasons that I can be pulled over, and that would be A, you have a warrant for my arrest, and that is signed by a judge with the affidavit and application, and you'd have to have that in hand physically. Number two.
No, they don't. They don't even need that. They can give you a piece of paper authorizing the warrant. In some instances, in some states, they don't even need to do that. They can hook you up, arrest you, and then give you the piece of paper with the warrant afterwards. But no, of course he's going to throw in. Not only do you need the warrant signed by a judge in wet ink signature in red ink. At a 45-degree angle, but I also need the affidavit from the officer as well, in hand, physically. Give it to me right now, or else it's not legal. Pretty sure in California you don't need all of that to effectuate an arrest warrant.
If you have a
honestly, it's hard to hear you out here.
Oh, okay.
So either if you could just speak a little louder.
Sorry.
Or...
Okay, so there's two reasons that you can pull me over. Okay. Number one, you would have to have a warrant for my arrest, which would have to signed by a judge with the affidavit and application in hand with my name on it. Okay. You're asking for my ID, so you don't have that, obviously. Number two, you would have to have an articulable, reasonable suspicion that I've committed a crime. Right. Thank you. And this is not a crime because there's no injured party, there's no physical or financial damage, no malicious.
No injured party.
Intent done. So this is an infraction.
It's still a violation of California penal
codes. Okay, codes, statutes, and ordinances are not pertaining to those not operating in commerce or. I'm not a federal government employee, and I don't operate in commerce. Therefore, I'm not in your jurisdiction.
Why does he specify federal government? So I guess state, like California state government employees are also exempt.
It's a private property, private vehicle. It is not.
In our jurisdiction.
Not if I'm not operating in commerce under your codes. Your codes don't pertain to me. If I'm in, I'm not the private common law citizen. No, they don't.
Private common law citizen, eh?
I can prove that. But they're trumped by the Constitution. That's
If you're in California,
that's not true.
The vehicle code applies to you.
No, only if I'm operating in commerce or if I work for the government.
Okay, so you're in California. You're operating a motor vehicle.
This is not a motor vehicle. This is my private property. It is not a motor vehicle because
it is a motor vehicle.
Because it's not being used for commerce. Commerce. I'm sorry.
Are you on a roadway?
That's a public roadway, and I have the right to use it. It's the right to travel. It's unalienable.
But when you're on this public roadway, then you have to abide by the public laws.
Laws, yes, but your codes are not law.
Yes, they are.
Your codes and statutes and ordinances are trumped by state, federal, then the supreme law of the land.
Vehicle codes and penal codes.
Correct. Codes, right? Which they apply only to those. They only apply to those operating in commerce.
Here's the thing, sir.
I can prove it.
And argue this with you.
I know, but you're not going to commit treason against my rights, though.
My officer here has legally detained you.
He has not legally detained me.
California,
that is not true.
California law.
I told him I do not. You're mislabeling me. I'm not operating in commerce.
How dare you?
So he's going to issue you a ticket.
But that's not fair.
Well, that's what he's going to do.
Wait, did he just say that's not fair? Oh my God. Am I 12 years old again? That's not fair.
I know, but you're not going to commit treason against my rights, though.
My officer here has legally detained you.
He has not legally detained me.
California,
that is not true.
Law.
I told him I do not. You're mislabeling me. I'm not operating in commerce.
So he's going to issue you a ticket.
But that's not fair.
Well, that's what he's going to do. So now you have two things you can do. You can either give him your license so he can issue your ticket and you can be or you go to jail with us.
That's not law, sir.
He He almost said it again. You heard that, right? He almost said that's not fair again.
Your badge number and name, please.
I don't write the laws. I don't create
I understand, and you don't know them
All I do
either.
is enforce them.
Do you know what the Black's Law Dictionary is, sir?
I'm not gonna sit here
So
and
why
go
don't
through
you want to
everything
answer my
in
questions?
federal
You
code
work for me.
and
I don't
federal
work
law
for
right now,
you.
okay?
I don't work for you.
I
You work
know-
for me.
Hey, listen.
Oh, I have to yell because this.
All right.
Yeah.
This is what's gonna happen. Either give them your identification.
Okay. You're going to give me your badge number and your
Yeah, You
name.
can have all that. I promise.
Okay, what is it?
Okay.
Can you tell me?
Rasmussen,
Ras-
badge number 2600.
2600 Rasmussen.
Okay. So either give me your license.
Okay.
So we can issue your ticket and send you on your way.
Okay, I have to answer this question. I apologize for pausing, guys. Woodwork asks, why has your Supreme Court not simply stated that all operators, drivers, etc. need a license in defined terms? Because the Supreme Court didn't think that there would be idiots like this out there in the world. That's the answer. Nobody... I don't think even SCOTUS realized that there was going to be people out there that are going to warp and manipulate terms to suit their ends in this kind of a fashion. And the problem is that these guys are conspiracy brained. Even if the Supreme Court said straight up, if you're on the public roadway, it does not matter if you're operating commerce or not, you need to have a license, registration, insurance. Even if SCOTUS said this in freaking, not all caps, because they'll reject that, in small print, lowercase, they still would move the goalposts. They'll say that, well, the Supreme Court, they're part of the system, they're part of the deep state, whatever the hell. You know, they'll reject it outright. They'll move it on to something else. So they wouldn't accept it.
Or we'll have to take you to jail because you're not identifying yourself. And you're prolonging our investigation.
I'm not prolonging an investigation. You guys have criminally pulled me
Now
over.
you're in violation of Penal Code 148.
There's no code, sir. There's no code pertaining to me. You guys should know what law applies to who. Those codes apply to you, not to
Give them
me.
your identification. Or
Time out. Can you listen to me for a second? Because these are my rights being infringed. You guys are two people committing treason. You know what the punishment for treason is?
So I asked you, okay.
I know what you've
We're
asked
not
me,
gonna argue.
but you are not understanding me.
I need your license, registration, and
Stop.
insurance. I'll give you a citation.
I need to explain
or
myself
I'm
to
gonna
your supervisor, and I'll get back with you. But I have a Black's. Do you know what a Black's Law Dictionary is? Do you know what the law, the legal words they use in court?
Look,
I mean, I said it once and I'll say it again. Black's Law Dictionary is not binding. It's a persuasive. It's persuasive, but I've personally seen more than one binding court opinion that used Webster's dictionary over Black's Law. So it's not exactly like the holy grail, the Bible of court systems out there.
You've been to court, right?
yeah, I've been to court many times.
So you know
Okay?
about
But
the
what
Black's
are
Law.
we- What are we doing here?
I'm trying to prove to you that you're wrong, and I want to show
So you're
you.
trying to prove me that we can't make any traffic stops out here.
I didn't
unless-
say
unless
any.
We know somebody has a warrant. That sounds ridiculous.
Or I gave you two reasons, not just the
Okay?
one.
So somebody's driving around and they're running red lights.
Correct.
Okay.
Who's
And
the
they're
injured
good-
party?
They're good to go.
Who's the injured party?
You know what? You know what? You know what? I'll give him that level. At least he's honest. At least he's one of those who admits it. What I've been saying every time I debate these guys. You know what? Because they'll never own up when it comes to traffic laws that are actually in fact dangerous to other people, like running red lights or running on the wrong way. But this guy, he'll own up to it. Doesn't matter. I can run as many red lights as I can. As long as I don't actually hit somebody, I'm good to go.
They're good to go, right?
Sir,
Yeah.
who's the injured party?
See?
If I'm being punished for a crime, I have the right to face my accuser.
So, hold on.
Living.
If you're running red lights, we don't have any right to pull you over.
Me personally, I don't do that.
Don't weasel out of it. Don't say, well, I personally wouldn't run red lights. Don't weasel out of the question the officer's asking. He's asking a general question as to whether or not people should be allowed to run as many red lights as they can without abandon. And and they can only ever get in trouble or get stopped if they kill someone or they hit somebody or damage somebody else's property. Don't weasel out of it by saying, "Oh, well, I personally wouldn't do it."
Tell me, yes or no?
No,
No. So you can just run whatever red
I
light,
don't do that.
put everyone in danger.
No, I don't
and
do
that's
that.
Totally fine.
I don't do that. But technically, where there's no injured party,
Somebody has to be injured for it to be a crime.
physically or financially, and I would have to have done it with malicious intent, malice. And if not, then I'm not under.
Are you gonna identify yourself, sir?
This sounds ridiculous, man.
I know what it sounds like to you guys, but you guys actually work
so
for.
you can go around here and shooting guns off.
No.
Nobody gets injured.
No,
Nobody gets injured.
that's not what I'm saying.
Okay, thank you, God. Thank you, God. The supervisor and the officers are actually challenging him on exactly what I challenge these soft sits every time I have a discussion with them. Normally I would say cops don't bother arguing with these guys, but for once I'm so thankful that they're actually challenging them on their BS when it comes to victimless crimes.
Shooting guns is different because your bullets
Why is
are
that different?
because the bullet is going to hurt somebody,
How do you know that?
or it's going to hurt somebody's
Until
property.
there's an injured party. Same with running a red
Yes.
light. Nobody's injured yet, but the reason you can't run red lights is so nobody gets injured.
But your codes,
That's why.
they don't apply to me.
But we're past this, okay?
How are we
either
past
give them
this?
your license
I
or go
can't.
to jail. That's your two options.
That's not.
And I
That's
don't have a
treason.
right to sit here and
Well, you, but why won't you?
Listen, are you gonna give me your license?
I'm talking to your supervisor,
I'm talking
please.
to you.
I'm talking to your supervisor. Okay, you've called him down here. Let me talk to your
Are you
supervisor.
gonna give me your license?
I'm not talking to you right now. I'm talking with your supervisor. Come on, dude.
I'm gonna have you step out. Okay?
Can I show
I'm
you?
gonna have you step out of the car.
You can't touch my property.
Step out of the car.
You cannot touch my property.
You're gonna step out of the car. Okay? Get past that point. Step out of the car.
I'm going to give you my license under duress.
Okay, the instant he realizes it's not going to work, like okay, here's my license. The moment he realizes that, oh no, I might actually go to jail tonight.
Under duress.
Fine. Under duress, you're giving your license.
Okay, can you have
Coward.
him stand down because he is violating my rights.
Look, just give him your license.
I will. Like I said,
Okay,
under arrest.
registration, That's it.
Under arrest. Under duress.
Duress.
Fine, that's
There
fine.
you go.
Give him your stuff.
Here we go again. I don't want to go to jail because I've done nothing wrong. I have not committed any crime. And you know, I've lost my job from the COVID shit and not wearing a mask because I don't want to deprive myself of oxygen. And since then, I've had my rights violated by you guys. And you are committing treason. And I'm going to have to file a claim if, you know, this is terrible. This is terrible.
You can go ahead and file a complaint.
And I am a commercial driver when I'm on the clock, but I don't have a job right now. So your ticket's going to,
That's fine.
you know,
Can I have your insurance?
I don't have it on me, I don't think.
You don't have
Oh, that explains a lot.
insurance?
I have,
Your registration?
I don't know. No, I don't. I don't lawfully have to have it.
There it is. Okay, now he admits that he doesn't have insurance on the car. Awesome.
Lawfully have to have
No, sir.
that? Okay. I can't see it.
No, it's not that you can't see it. It's
Covered with stickers.
what's covered with stickers? Oh,
Your VIN.
the VIN.
So he covered the VIN, which technically can be a federal crime. I think you need to actively tamper with it though.
37 and so forth.
You guys won't look at it anyway, so I mean, I guess I don't know what you want me to do.
570008.
My vehicle is my private property.
You got your registration, sir?
I don't know. I didn't pay the registration because by law I don't have to because I'm not. I wish you guys would know the laws. It's in the.
You know the law, sir.
You don't. It's in the Constitution. Under the right,
Specifically is in the Constitution.
the right to travel, sir, in my private
It's not specifically in the Constitution. You made that up.
property, and I'm not operating my vehicle in commerce.
Public highway, sir.
for the public, right? And I have the right.
You have the registration, sir?
I'm sorry.
You have a
I
copy of the
can look
registration?
for it. Yes, I live out of my car. This is my home. I'm homeless.
Okay, so because you don't have
God. All right, dude. I mean, there's obviously you fell down this stupid rabbit hole, and you're drowning. You're clearly drowning.
license plates on your cars. How can I identify what vehicle
I
it
don't.
belongs to? What if it's stolen? How do I know that?
It's not stolen. It's mine because it's my private property. A registration isn't going to tell you if it's stolen.
If you registered it with the DMV, it'll tell us who it
Well,
belongs to.
I don't have to register with the DMV is what I'm
So
saying.
if you're going to drive it on a public highway.
That's not true. The public highways are for everyone to use, and it can be even a stagecoach on a public highway. I can show you that.
I mean, I think even in Pennsylvania, there are still okay, even the Amish in their stagecoaches still have to obey like traffic laws. Remember the video of the guy who was passed out in his vehicle?
If you guys would just read the law, I have the book right here. I have the Black's Law Dictionary right here to define everything.
We need to identify this vehicle as well too, right?
Why is that? This is my private property.
You're on a public highway.
I just told you. That's not the law. The law, your codes,
Absolutely is the law.
the codes, statutes, and ordinances only apply to those operating in commerce. I don't know how many times I got to say it. That's the truth. Look it up.
It's not the truth.
Oh my God, I've read it several times.
You read it?
Yeah, and there's even case
Is it
law.
on Google?
Federal coast. No, I don't use Google. That's not fact checking. It's federal case law. If you look up Rodriguez versus Ray Donovan.
Oh, Rodriguez versus Ray Donovan, people. I believe that one had to do with Social Security. It had to do with Social Security benefits. But I think even the quote that they rely on is actually a fake quote. That's one of the cases they cite where the quote that they're allegedly citing from the case appears nowhere at all in the text of the opinion. It was one of those made up ones.
It clearly states it in the case law. It's federal. That's federal case law.
What does it say?
It states that a motor vehicle is someone who is using their vehicle to transport passengers or.
No, he's mixing it up. I love the fact that I actually know this more than these guys do. The Ray Donovan case, the fake quote from Ray Donovan case was that all statutes, codes, ordinances are all are not applicable to the citizen or something along those lines. It actually the fake quote had nothing to do with like traffic laws.
Cargo, and that is.
Do you have your registration on you?
On me. I'll have to look for it. I live out of my car. This is my house.
Okay, I understand that this is your house, but I need your registration.
I don't.
Okay, I think your VIN's covered here.
Yeah, because I don't want you guys to steal my vehicle, my house.
No one's gonna steal your vehicle or house.
If you guys but you guys
have
don't.
your registration on you?
You don't know the law though, and you won't let me show you.
Past that point.
We are not past that point because I don't consent to this. You need my consent. You need my consent to do this. You guys are.
I don't need your consent.
Sir, you need my consent.
Oh my
This is bullshit.
dude.
You guys, you're making my life terrible over tinted windows. Come on.
And no license. You have no license
A
plate?
big deal.
Brake light doesn't
I don't
work?
have to have a license
Crash
plate.
windshield?
This is all just little infractions. I'm broke. I have no money.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay.
That's
I don't know what
but
to tell
that's.
you about that.
I mean,
I need registration. I need.
I was told if I gave you my license, you were going to write me a ticket and I was free to go. Now that changes. Now you need more. Now you need more.
Items listed in AFS and listed in restraint party.
A what?
You don't have no.
Oh man, that's all it happens. I thought there was gonna be a red. All right, hold on. I believe obviously he got cited, but I believe maybe Van Balen had more than one video linked. Hold on. Where is it?
Your codes, they don't apply to me.
But we're past this, okay?
How are we past this?
License?
over tinted windows. Come on. Big deal. I don't have to have a license plate. This is all just little infractions. I'm broke. I have no money.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay.
That's I mean,
I need registration.
I was told if I gave you my license, you were going to write me a ticket and I was free to go. Now that changes. Now you need more. Now you need more.
Items listed in AFS and listed in the restraint party.
A what?
You don't have no.
Right, so that's where the video conveniently ends.
Oh, that is where it ends.
I suspect because he was arrested. But he says no, the stop ended with citations for tinted windows. No
registration. Show it.
What's that?
He talks about him getting arrested at the end and shows the paperwork, but doesn't
I
show
see.
it.
Registration and no insurance, and he was allowed to leave after uncovering his VIN. But what I suspect happened on this stop supposedly happened a couple of weeks later when he was stopped again, but this time he was arrested.
A couple of weeks later, I was arrested, taken to the jail, and car impounded while left for 3 days without with the window down, getting everything soaked from the rain.
Jailed and had his car impounded.
Several important documents, notes, and papers. I assume it's all of his printouts from SovSit websites as well as his Black's Law Dictionary, probably.
Of course, this is just speculation on my part, but I'm always suspicious when a video cuts off so abruptly. Anyway, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below.
Yeah, I fully bet that he got arrested. Well, I mean, they may have cut him a slack, but I wish if they did, I would not be happy because it's clear that he admits that he doesn't have insurance. I feel like if you don't have insurance, you should not be allowed. Generally, you should not be allowed to leave unless there's some dire circumstances. But I would generally oppose it. Full stop. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No! My server's down. Darn it. Alright, we'll just have to do it the old-fashioned way. Well, that's the thing, Gary. Like, you said Philly. In New Jersey, they'll tow the car, full stop. In New Jersey, they don't mess around.
Known male.
All right. This is from Code Blue Cam.
On January 14th, 2023, the Columbia County Dispatch Center received a call from an adult female stating she was being held captive in a vehicle in Decorah, Wisconsin. The 54-year-old female victim said she had been sleeping in the backseat of a vehicle while her family entered a gas station. She then realized an unknown male was driving the vehicle. While the male drove at a high rate of speed, he refused to let her exit the vehicle and she didn't know where they were going. The unknown male was later identified as 51-year-old Kyle Wagner from New York. Dispatch was able to keep in contact with the female as she described the surrounding areas she was passing. About 40 minutes later from the initial call, a deputy observed the vehicle pass him at a high rate of speed.
Just passing the SUV at 188 County Road J. He attempted to stop the vehicle. 3333, I'm behind the vehicle. He's taking off. 1080.
10-4-3333.
It appeared Kyle continued to travel at speeds of 100 miles per hour while driving erratically.
3333. If somebody can get spikes at 188 and 60, approximately 90 miles an hour. Still not catching the vehicle.
Damn.
No traffic. Roads are clear. 188 Price Drive. Still attempting to catch. 85 miles an hour. Vehicle is still heading 188 west. Suspects taking the big S curves at a very high rate of speed. passing Selwood now. Suspects left of center. I see lights ahead. Do they have spikes out? 3333. Looks like negative spikes, negative spikes. We're going to be heading eastbound State Highway 60. Intersection of Pulvermacher, Highway 60. No traffic, roads are clear. We're 100 miles an hour. 3333 just lost a tire. Vehicle appears to be spiked, still going. On the rims, looks like we're going to be coming to a stop. Barda in 60. Barda in 60. Suspect still going.
Barda in 60 forward.
Running on 3 wheels. We're coming around the big S curves, still approaching Barda Road. Looks like the suspect's losing a second tire now. 3333. Suspect is in
Raymond Wayne.
lane of
Thank you for the
traffic.
17 months.
Westbound, oncoming lane of traffic eastbound. 65 miles an hour. It's crossing over. Back in the eastbound proper lane of traffic. Gastro in 60. No additional traffic.
The vehicle began smoking heavily and had one tire left. However, Kyle continued to evade law enforcement.
3333. Suspect vehicle just lost a third tire. We're 60 in Gannon Road. 70 miles an hour. No oncoming traffic. Vehicle is in the eastbound lane of traffic. The only tire that should be intact is the rear passenger side wheel. Rear passenger side.
So I think if he says that he was, if they end up charging him with kidnapping, the kidnapping would be contingent on, I would say, the moment that this Kyle guy knew there was another woman in the there was a woman inside the car, and if he refused to let her out, the moment that he refused would be kidnapping. Not necessarily when he took the car and started going, but the moment that he realized that he had a passenger inside, and refused to stop. That would be where the kidnapping would apply.
Currently approaching units now.
If he crosses state lines, then he's got the Fed boys to worry about, and you never want federal charges.
3326, David Knox Prairie unit are coming up behind 3333. We're about a half mile behind.
Appear to be negative spikes from State Patrol. Suspect vehicle just crossed over into the oncoming lane of traffic.
4072 spikes at Highway 60 in McCully. Highway 60 McCully spikes.
10-4, try for the passenger side rear wheel.
Hey, everybody.
3330 spikes set at 60 in Gluth. 60 in Gluth.
Got him.
3333 passing Bluth Road. Appear to be negative spikes from county, negative spikes.
3330 spikes hit. Spikes hit.
Successful spike. Successful spike.
Just for 43, the one tire is still intact. Rear passenger side. 70 miles an hour.
3330, I had successful spike at 60 in Blue.
3333. Successful spikes, however, still one tire intact. Approaching Lodi.
3072 spikes hit.
Suspect is in the oncoming lane of traffic. 45 miles an hour in Lodi. Approaching Mill Street.
Jay, we'll try and take lead so you guys can get radio.
3333 approaching the four corners. Appears all four tires are deflated. We're at Lodi Shell. Going through the intersection. Heading towards Quick Trip. Northbound.
Well, Ed, I would imagine a pit is very dangerous because they know that there's a woman inside, but you know, it'd be risky. But I don't know. I wouldn't know what protocol would be here. Obviously, I'm a lawyer, not a cop.
At one point, the vehicle struck a bridge and went off the roadway, but he regained control and kept fleeing.
Holy.
So warn oncoming traffic.
3333, vehicle crash. Vehicle crash.
10-4, copy, vehicle crash.
CAD update received.
113 and Chris Law coming to a stop.
CAD
We're
update
doing a high-risk stop.
Oh, driving.
And I now just heard what the lady the voice was saying. CAD update received.
Back on the road driving.
CAD is computer assisted dispatch.
Copy, back on the road driving.
3004, when the speed reduces to a reasonable rate, see if we can pin them in. Would you like this one to continue with them? Make sure the speed's under 35 miles an hour if they're going around the corner.
3333, I copy.
33, did you copy? 35 miles an hour or less.
3333, I copy. 35 miles an hour or less. We're currently 56. Can you tell state to back out so I can get out of them?
What are your wishes for state?
Tell state to back off, otherwise we're going to need them to do the pit move. Otherwise they need to get out of my way.
They probably have one that is certified. See if they do, and ask that they think that one the speed of the scope.
3333. I'm behind the vehicle, 70 miles an hour. I'm going to wait until vehicle reduces speed, and I'm going to attempt to hit.
Okay, so obviously now the car is just the rims are falling apart at this point. Along, the tires are already gone. So
3304, 3333. Did one vehicle or did one squad get ahead of them or not?
Negative 3333. No vehicles in front. I'm tailing the suspect.
304, they do have states that can do pit and they're authorized to do it. Do you want it under 35 miles per hour or?
3333, I just tried to pass the suspect vehicle and tried grabbing me. No contact, but it was close.
Usually when they're making a turn onto another roadway, it's cancel time.
149, I'm behind the lead vehicle, I can pit above 30.
304, is it 10-2 for the state patrol to pit above 35 miles per hour?
Vehicle just crashed again. It's back on the road, continuing. The suspect just bounced off the guardrail again. 43 miles an hour, the state's attempted pit.
CAD update received.
Eventually, a Wisconsin state trooper was able to perform a pit maneuver where the vehicle lost control and came to a stop in a parking lot.
3333, successful pit, successful pit.
3333, I copy, successful pit.
Upon approach of the vehicle, the deputy noticed Kyle acting frantic and attempting to open the driver's door to flee.
Get in!
Ooh, doggo.
Sam's on the canine! Show me your hands! Show me your hands! Don't move! Shut up, you siren! Shut up, siren! Hands! Somebody call out one at gunpoint. He was trying to get out. I got the canine out. Yes. I'm going to come around this side and we're going to open that door. I have a canine. You will get bit. Keep your hands up. Females in the back passenger side.
Where's the female at?
Hands are up. Back passenger door.
Ma'am, come on out. Ma'am, come out. Ma'am, come out with your hands up. Show me your hands, ma'am. Come out. Come out slowly. Ma'am, come back. Ma'am, show me your hands. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Oh my God.
Okay. We're safe now. We're okay. I got it. We'll get you an ambulance now. Okay? Do you have any weapons on you? No. Do you know this man? Keep your hands up. Be quiet.
Want me to get Halligan? Keep your hands up! Just cut it.
Step for me.
Yep.
I got it. Keep your hands up. Don't you dare move up. Shut up.
I'll give you my hand.
Move. I swear to God, do not move.
I'm not moving, sir. I will break this glass and let the dog bite you if you do.
Hands clear. Okay. Keep your hands up! Ma'am, till we have this guy in handcuffs, I gotta help them, okay? I'll get you water as soon as I can, I promise. Thank you. Just relax.
If you move again, I'm letting the dog bite you. Do you understand? Cut this. That's a good boy. You talk to him. Yeah, good boy.
Keep those hands up! My hands are up! Is there anybody on the backside of this vehicle, trooper? No. Behind us. Do we have any friendlies back here? Okay.
Help me!
Stop talking. Have him come out the passenger. Have him climb over and climb out the passenger.
Whatever is safest for you guys.
What?
Come over the passenger side now with your hands up as much as you can. Come out this side. Slowly. Slowly.
How slowly?
Just slowly.
I have no weapons.
Okay, start climbing over slowly and come out. Try to keep your hands up as far as you can, okay?
Thanks, Vera.
Start that now.
Hope y'all have been doing well.
Get out!
Just keep your hands up and slowly climb over.
Okay. Alright. Here I go, gentlemen. Guys, I got my hands.
I see it. Keep coming. Keep coming.
Gentlemen,
Keep coming.
Keep coming.
Keep coming.
Two hands.
I'll go 95.
Two hands.
Keep coming. Back up a little bit.
Two hands.
I'll go 95.
Two hands. Guys, two hands.
I'll go 95.
Guys, two hands. I'm not resisting.
Put your hands behind your head.
What?
Put your hands behind your head.
Guys, yes, yeah.
There we go.
That's a good boy. That's a good boy.
Gentlemen, I'm not too handicapped. Gentlemen.
Could somebody go check on the victim? Yes. She was requesting water. If anybody has water. Thank you.
Jesus,
She's going on with this? Shaking up. She's this car right here. Passengers. Any injuries?
What's that?
Any injuries?
On my wrist.
Your wrist?
The left one.
And
is that from the car crash, you mean?
any injuries from the car crash?
No.
Any weapons on you?
No, sir.
Knives? Anything?
Pocket right here.
Yeah. I might have struck something that came up with either yours or state squad.
Okay, we'll figure it out.
I'm just letting you know now. Wherever he broke down.
Yeah. Put me down for about 10 of those.
Hey, Rodent.
My whole left side, it's the adrenaline's really.
You're having pain on your left side?
Yeah.
Ron, have EMS come. I asked EMS make sure they verified bring somebody for her to get checked out too. She's really shaking up. And then she asked for water, if we could get her water. Awesome, thank you. All right, this pocket's clear.
All
right, we're gonna roll over on this side, okay?
Yes.
And we're gonna sit up.
Okay, all right.
Ready? Yeah. Come on. Now get your knees underneath you.
Holy fuck.
All right. All right. Now go up on your knees.
Okay, all right.
Yep. Right here.
Do you want EMS to check out?
No, I'm fine.
Okay,
Thank you.
Are you sure?
Yes, I just scared because he was driving like crazy, and I couldn't talk with him. He didn't want to stop. I don't know if he's crazy or what happened with him.
Okay. You're okay?
I am.
Are you sure?
Definitely.
Okay.
I'm just scared.
I'll be back to talk to you in a few minutes, okay?
I feel bad for
My
the
name is
lady.
Sergeant Stage.
Damn.
Just call me Ron, okay?
Okay.
And I kind of started the whole investigation right away. We've been trying to find you really fast. You had a lot of people helping.
Man,
okay?
I'm so scared.
I bet you are. What's your first name? I'll come back and talk to you, okay?
Yes.
All right,
Thank
you.
You want blast stones for our squad? Josh's tire is fucked.
Yeah.
3330.
Which tire of yours is
Rear, completely off.
Kyle was believed to be under the influence of methamphetamine.
A
vehicle associated with Kyle was located at the initial gas station. After searching, they discovered meth and drug paraphernalia inside.
I'd like to put.
So while he was strung out of his mind, he got into the wrong freaking car.
Through some standardized field sobriety tests to make sure your ability to operate a motor vehicle is not impaired. You want to do those tests? Yeah, I want you to follow the tip of my finger with your eyes and your eyes only. Keep your head still, okay? Follow the tip of my finger with your eyes, okay? Yeah. You follow the tip of my finger? Yeah. You're going to take a series of small steps to turn around, and you're going to take 9 heel-to-toe steps back.
Yeah, I would say a DUI is the least of his worries right now. I saw that video. I'm not going to show it because it was just uploaded.
Take the leg of your choice.
I'll save it for another day.
Off the ground and point your toe out, okay? I want you to focus down on your foot, and I want you to count out loud in the following manner. 1001, 1002. All right, are you ready? Whenever you're ready, okay? So whenever you're ready. 1, 2, 3. All right, this is a preliminary breath test. You said you haven't had anything to drink, right? Okay. See, it shows all zeros. What I want you to do is I want you to take a deep breath, wrap your lips around the straw, and blow like you're blowing up a balloon, all right? Keep blowing. So, based upon my clues, I do believe that you're under the influence of something, all right? So I am going to place you back under arrest for operating while under the influence, okay?
Kyle was charged with felony counts of operating a vehicle without consent, false imprisonment, vehicle fleeing eluding an officer, and possession.
So it's not kidnapping. I mean, I guess that does make sense, but I mean, kidnapping, like false imprisonment is like an element of kidnapping. So they don't believe that there was enough to go for kidnapping. Maybe it's because they couldn't show that he intended to take her specifically away. That could be that could be true. And so his refusal to let her out when he realized what was happening, that became false imprisonment. Yeah.
Possession of methamphetamine. He received several citations totaling over $4,000, including OWI, first offense. His cash bond was set at $40,000. Head over to codebluecam.com and check out our great selection of quality-made merch that won't disappoint.
All right. I missed this. Thank you, Paul Bear, for the super chat. Common law supersedes SCOTUS. Always, forever. No. Man-child. Jacob, I don't want to talk about that right now. Man-child seeking plea deal throws temper tantrum in court and judge loses his mind. This will be the last one for the night. Oh, yeah, more than likely going to be the last one for the night. People in court. Okay, easy there, Dick Wolf. All right. I don't want to get copyright struck because of the don.
All right, we have Mr. Johnson here now. His audio is connected. Mr. Johnson, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. We are on the record then in the People of the State of Michigan versus Gregory Ernest Johnson. It's file number 21-20333-FH. Today's date set for a final pretrial conference in this matter. We are proceeding today by video conference. First, let me ask the attorneys to place their appearances on the record, beginning with Ms. Brenner.
Good morning, Your Honor. Sarah Brenner, Assistant Attorney General for the People.
Rhonda Underwood for Mr. Johnson this morning, Your Honor.
All right, and Ms. Underwood, where do we stand with the case today?
At this time, Your Honor, I believe Mr. Johnson will be pleading guilty on a delayed plea basis, Your Honor, to the 4-year child support case, Your Honor, with the provisions that the sentencing be put out 11 months if Mr. Johnson gets his arrearage down to $8,000, it's my understanding he gets an attempt, and if Mr. Johnson manages to pay the whole arrearage down in that time, Your Honor, then he would be eligible for a misdemeanor a misdemeanor disorderly in this case, Your Honor. I believe that is, and I believe Mr. Johnson is to pay $100 a month, Your Honor. I believe that is the plea bargain that Mr. Johnson will be pleading to today.
Okay, Ms. Brenner, is that a complete and accurate statement of the agreement?
That's correct, Your Honor. He's to pay a minimum of $100 a month. He did not pay last month, so I do expect him to make up that missed payment as well.
I did pay.
The front of the court
Miss-
system is not showing
Miss
the payment at this time.
Underwood
so-
has the
Mr.
Miss
Johnson,
Underwood has
stop.
the receipt.
It's,
All right,
it's okay. It's okay,
I'm
Gregory.
we're not going to argue about
All right, here we go.
this on the record right now. If the
I
payment was made,
I will send Ms. Brenner the proof I have.
Okay, that's fine.
Mr.
I just
Johnson.
don't see it in the front of the court system yet.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Johnson. But that is the plea you're taking this morning, correct?
Yes.
Thank
we
you.
can't see you anymore, Mr. Johnson. There you are.
all right, Mr. Johnson, would you raise your right hand, please? Can't see you now, so if you have your right hand raised, please let me know when you have it raised.
Yes, it's raised.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
I suppose.
I need a yes or a no.
It's not I suppose, man. You got to say yes or no.
Yes.
You are Gregory Ernest Johnson, correct?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson, you heard the statement of your attorney and the prosecuting attorney. Is it your intention to plead guilty today to count 1, failing to pay child support?
Yes, I accept the plea.
Is it your intention to plead guilty today?
Yes, I accept the plea.
Okay. Easy there.
Are you satisfied with Ms. Underwood and the advice that she's given you?
I suppose.
I need a yes or a no.
Maximum penalty for this offense is up to 4 years in prison and or a $2,000 fine.
Yeah.
Neither the prosecutor, defendant, or anyone acting on the defendant's behalf has discussed a possible sentence with the court, other than as we've discussed it on the record here this morning. Is that correct, Ms. Brenner?
That's correct, Your Honor.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Is that also your understanding, Mr. Johnson?
I don't know. I didn't understand the question.
And there was much rejoicing.
Other than as we've discussed on the record here today, no one has discussed a possible sentence with me.
Thank
agree
you.
with that?
Thank you, Brad, for the $20 super chat. Came a little down tonight. Well, I appreciate it, Brad. I'm good. Just been a just some stuff that I'm not ready to open up about, but it's all good. I apologize if I look like a Debbie Downer tonight. Thank you. And also, I noticed I missed a super chat from Thea. Thank you very much, Thea, for the super chat as well.
With me, right? Okay.
No, with me. No one has discussed a sentence with me, other than as we've discussed on the record here today. Not Ms. Brenner, not Ms. Underwood, and not yourself. Is that right?
Right.
If a guilty plea
Why does he look like he's about to pass out?
is accepted, there'll be no trial. That means you're giving up the rights that you would have had at trial. I'm going to explain those rights to you now to make sure that you understand them. You do have the right to a speedy.
Okay, laughing in open court is not a good idea.
Mr. Johnson, if you're going to interrupt me, I'm going to hold you in contempt.
I'm sorry.
This is not a funny matter. You have the right to a speedy public trial by jury. You can ask for a non-jury trial, and if the prosecutor and the court agreed, you could have a non-jury trial. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have the prosecuting attorney prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you're guilty, and you do not have to prove anything. You have the right to be present at trial. have the witnesses against you appear at your trial and to ask those witnesses questions. You have the right to have the court order any witnesses that you have for your defense to appear at your trial. You have the right to remain silent during your trial and not have that silence used against you. However, you also have the right to testify at your trial if you wanted to testify. You understand, Mr. Johnson, that if your plea is accepted, you may be giving up the right to appeal issues that would otherwise be appealable if you were convicted at a trial.
Yeah.
Do you also understand that any appeal from the conviction?
Whoever was recording this has got a
rejoicing.
I think on Rakita Law. But thank you very much, Cerebral Tackle, for the $5. Well, if you were Debbie Upper, the ladies might get. Thanks.
Sentence pursuant to this plea would be by application for leave to appeal and not by right.
I didn't understand that.
Do you understand that any appeal that you might make from this conviction and sentence would have to be by application for leave to appeal and not by right?
Basically, what he means is that he doesn't get an automatic appeal, or he doesn't get an appeal by right. In other words, he doesn't have to justify his basis for appeal. In this situation, if he wants to appeal what happens here, he has to ask the court, the appellate courts, for permission to appeal.
Okay.
And there was much rejoicing.
If you are not a citizen of the United States of America, conviction of a crime can result in deportation.
Thank you, Gia, for the $9.99 super chat. I appreciate it.
America or denial of naturalization.
Always appreciate it.
Do you have any questions about any of those rights?
He's muted now.
I didn't mean to mute. I don't know how I muted. How did I mute?
Weird. Do you have any questions about any of those rights, Mr. Johnson?
And there was much rejoicing.
Crap.
You're unmuted now, Mr. Johnson.
I'm not. I shouldn't be. I'm not on my headset though.
We can't hear you.
Oh my God. Vera, thank you for the $20 super sticker. Thank you very much.
Well, I'm trying.
We can hear you. We hear you.
Oh, okay. Well,
Mr. Johnson, do you have any questions about any of the rights that I've explained to you?
no.
Do you understand that you're giving those rights up?
Yeah.
How do you wish to plead to the charge that on or about September 1st, 2018 through September 30, 2019, in the city of Adrian, County of Lenawee, that you did commit the offense of failing to pay child support?
I accept the plea.
If you want to plead guilty, you need to say guilty.
You want me to say guilty? Okay, fine.
If you want to plead guilty to this offense,
you
then
have
you
to
need to
say
say
it.
that you plead guilty.
I accept the plea.
Oh my God.
That's not
Mr.
that's not a
Johnson.
guilty plea. So if that's all you're going to say, Mr. Johnson, then I'm going to continue your not guilty plea and we'll proceed to trial on January 25th.
I never entered a not guilty plea.
Yes, you
Mr.
did.
Johnson, there are two pleas available, guilty or not guilty. Which do you choose today? Guilty or not guilty?
They want the not guilty or the guilty, so that's
Well,
fine.
no, Mr. Johnson, it's a matter of what you want to do today. Do you want to plead guilty
it's
or
not a
not
matter
guilty?
of what I want to do.
Oh my God. He's
Mr. Johnson,
is he shaking something off? I don't know. The guy's clearly either coming down, having a hangover, or everything in between.
are you going to plead guilty today or not?
Yes, that's acceptable.
If you want to plead guilty, you need to say that you're pleading guilty. Your audio was not clear. What did you just say?
Yes.
All right. This is the last time I'm going to explain this to you, and otherwise we're just going to leave the trial set. How do you wish to plead to the charge that you failed to pay child support?
Well, you determined that I was guilty, so yes, I am guilty.
Sir, the elements of the crime are you were ordered to pay child support and you failed to pay for whatever
My
reason.
income did not support that.
That
The
doesn't
judge
matter.
knows that.
Oh,
doesn't
no.
matter.
Well, he
Oh,
found me guilty,
no. Oh, no. The defense attorney's like, oh, no.
so that's
He
what it
didn't
is.
find you guilty. He's asking, were you ordered to pay child support and did you fail to pay it? It's either yes or no. If it's a yes,
did
then
not.
you plead
My
guilty.
income did not support the child support.
Judge, let's just leave it on for trial.
No, I want the deal.
Then you need
Well,
to admit what you did.
Mr. Johnson,
Mr. Johnson.
Ms. Underwood, please allow me, Ms. Underwood.
Mr. Johnson, you are
Yes.
confusing the issue. The judge found that the child support was appropriately set. Okay. He
Which
found
it
you
was
could
not,
not
but
go
that's
back.
fine.
That is a separate
get that.
issue
Okay.
than the criminal issue we have today. Now, did you pay that child support or not? If you did not, then you need to say
I
the
was
word
unable.
guilty.
No, I did not. Okay.
So is that a guilty?
We're not going further with this. The record is already not satisfactory.
Thank you, Cerebral Tackle, for the $5 super chat.
I'm guilty of the circumstances that set this thing.
Mr. Johnson, please do not interrupt me. If you interrupt me again, I'm going to hold you in contempt and I'm going to give you 30 days in the Lenawee County Jail. All right. I do not believe that the record created in this case today to this point would appropriately allow me to accept a guilty plea. Mr. Johnson has not indicated.
Yes, guilty.
Mr. Johnson has not indicated a clear intent to plead guilty and admit to the facts that would support a guilty plea in this case. Trial is scheduled for January 25th at 9 a.m. If I don't already have proposed voir dire questions and jury instructions, I'd like those submitted by Friday.
Yes, Your Honor.
And we will proceed to trial on January 25th. There is a plea agreement deadline on January 23rd. So assuming that Ms. Brenner is willing to leave that agreement open, I will accept a plea up until that point. If Mr. Johnson decides that he wants to unequivocally admit his guilt.
Guilty. I plead guilty.
We're way past that now.
I've made my decision for today. If Ms. Underwood, Ms.
You want
Underwood,
to set a time for January 23rd, Judge? That we could check back in or not?
I plead guilty today.
No, you're.
Mr. Johnson,
Okay,
I've already explained
here's the
to you
problem.
that you have behaved today in a way that I am not going to accept a guilty plea from you based on what you've said on the record here today. If you decide that you want to make a guilty plea, I would ask you to contact Ms. Underwood, have her arrange a time either tomorrow, Friday, or Monday to enter that plea. And if you show up and you answer the questions, Mr. Johnson, I've said it, this is the last time I'm saying it for you. If you interrupt me one more time, I'm going to hold you in contempt and sentence you to 30 days in the Lenawee County Jail. I am done. I've instructed you now as to how you can proceed if you want to enter a guilty plea. Contact Ms. Underwood. She'll make arrangements with my office. This hearing is concluded. Please log out.
Thank
you. Damn. Well, so basically, part of the problem, obviously, is number one, he can't. It honestly, I never mind the fact that he couldn't simply say the word guilty. He looked so strung out and completely gone that it could have been grounds for an appeal that he would have they wouldn't have accepted that as a knowing and voluntary guilty plea. I think, especially if the appellate division were to see the video record, yeah, that'd be pretty bad. So I don't blame the judge for just calling it, because obviously the guy was not paying attention, not even in the same universe apparently. So I would have said he should have gotten contempt anyway. So I think that's gonna be it for the night. I think so I will say this. I do have an audio, another audio only feature. The thing is that I don't think it's as interesting. It's very interesting, and the reason why I say that is because the audio that I have is that it's a pretrial hearing for on a traffic case, and it's basically, it's not the same person, but this person is employing pound for pound the same tactics as the Texas guy that we heard a couple weeks ago. The 3-part series. So it's a pretrial hearing. It's this motion to dismiss, and he says all the same hallmarks of what the guy was arguing, that the citation doesn't qualify as an effective charging instrument. There's no indictment, yada 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 yada. So same thing. No, this time he doesn't have his kid with him. But this one is a Georgia court, not a Texas court. It is interesting because the judge does kind of go line by line and taking down his arguments, and really it kind of goes into where he's incorrect on interpreting Georgia state law, but it's still an audio only. It's not very spicy, so I don't know. I might have to sleep on it as to whether or not it's good enough to go for a live stream. That's what I have in the docket. I know I still need to work on Mr. Fagiolo as well, and I hope to get that one squared away. I know I keep saying it. I've been saying it for like months now, but I promise I'll try my best to get it through and have something cogent for you guys to listen to and watch. But that's going to be it for me tonight. I want to thank you guys again, as always. Please hit that like button on your way out, and join me on Discord as well. Thank you, all of you, for your support, your super chats, your tips. Oh, that's right, Earl's brief for a new trial. You know what? I completely forgot about that. You know what? I'll do that for Wednesday. That'll be Wednesday's stream, is going over Earl's motion for a new trial. All right. Well, we'll put that on the docket. Thank you guys again. Have a good night. Take care. Adios. See ya. Taylor, thank you very much for the $9.99 super chat right at the end. Thank you very much, Taylor.